Greetings, Earthlings. I'm Alan Boyle with GeekWire, and I'm here with Adrian Hunt, who is the Executive Director of the Flying Heritage Collection here in Everett. And Adrian, you've got some things that you want to show us today, something that's you've been working on for years.
We have a brand new, exciting exhibit on the causes of war, the only such exhibit in the whole wide world, and it's in Everett, Washington at the Flying Heritage Collection. Well,
let's go take a look. Whose idea was this?
This was Paul Allen's idea. He said, we have a wonderful museum, but essentially don't we just have weapons of war on display? Couldn't we do something to provide some context and some relevance and provide something particularly that younger people could engage with and be educated by? And he said, how about we do something on the causes of war? And 5 years later, we have this exhibit. There are 4 main interactive elements, the most dramatic of which is this magnificent wall with 98-inch touchscreen TVs, 8 of them, and there are 8 wars that we focus on. You can pick a war here.
Pick your war.
Let's pick World War I. So there's a section that talks about the causes of war. You can touch them and find more information about that particular cause of the war. Then there's a section on the main events in the war, and you can deep dive into all kinds of topics. And then we have a section on the main results of the war. As you can see, we don't shy away from the difficult subjects, but we present them within the context of what actually happened and based on scholarship. So you look over there, and your eye is caught by 2 very large, interesting-looking objects. And so you proceed over here, and you see replicas, the most exact ever made, of the first 2 atomic bombs that were used, Fat Man and Little Boy, that were used at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And this room provides some context to their use. On the far wall, there's a graphic talking about how the use of these atomic bombs changed the kind of warfare, the nature of warfare, I should say. And then this wall over here has some really amazing artifacts or objects in Paul Allen's collection. The one on the left is a very interesting letter written by a certain Professor Einstein to a certain President Roosevelt, warning about the danger of nuclear weapons. So this was one of the crew of the Enola Gay, the plane that dropped the bomb over Hiroshima, and this gentleman kept a diary as things were going. Here's actually a hand-drawn cartoon of the first mushroom cloud. And there are some interesting things in here, like there'll be a short intermission while we bomb our target, because he had work to do. He was doing it, on the downtime. And then he writes about what happened, and I'll never quite get these few minutes out of my mind. And then the other wall here is something that Paul particularly wanted, is something to talk about the context of using the first weapon, why it was done. We worked with the National Nuclear Museum in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and how they approached this very difficult subject and used their way of approaching it. We want to put you in the hot seat and engage you, and you will learn what difficult decisions are made in the context of a war.
Let's push some buttons.
And you can pick a scenario. These are not real historical ones. They're hypothetical ones using real countries and as examples. And after you've made all your decisions, you will be told the consequences. These are very complicated because life is very complicated.
And you click just right through it.
Yeah. I shouldn't be in charge of anything, should I? And so this is an idea that Paul specifically wanted, was to humanize things. So we have an interactive where you can explore individuals and how they were impacted by war. And so we have major figures who were involved in the war, we have children, we have women, and we have soldiers. Important to have soldiers, but we also want to talk about these other individuals who were used or involved in war. And so this room also has other human scale things. Here are propaganda posters. The one The ones framed in the salmon color are basically trying to get you to join up, or they're sort of pro-war and everything from the Civil War on. And then the ones in red are anti-war posters.
And then I love these displays over here, kind of the quirky side of warfare.
Yeah. So in a war museum, you'd expect a bomb or a knife or the sort of traditional thing. So we deliberately picked some pieces which we think will attract your interest and surprise you and make you think about a little more differently about war. And we have everything from a Civil War surgeon's amputation kit to some paraphernalia from espionage in World War II, including a parachute designed for dropping a carrier pigeon into France so that it could take messages back to London with all the secrets.
Well, this is really great, Adrian. Tell me a little bit more about when it opens and where people can see it.
March the 4th, it opens this coming Saturday. It opens in Everett, Washington. We're at the Flying Heritage Collection, a world-class exhibit. We may be a little hidden away in the back streets of Everett, Washington, but this is the best museum of its kind in the world, and this is the only exhibit in the entire world on the origins of war, the causes of war.
Well, thank you so much, Adrian. I know we're all looking forward to the day when war is only addressed in museums and not in the real world, and I hope that this exhibit will have some small part to play in that. So for GeekWire, I'm Alan Boyle, science editor and aerospace editor, telling you to watch the skies.